You know, when Natasha Akpoti was on Arise TV, when she the judge wetin happen that day, she accused the chief whip of the Senate. That time when Akpabio talk say this place is not a nightclub, when she the judge that incident, she said the chief whip of the Senate called her by 12 midnight to threaten her. The chief whip of the Senate is here on the floor of the Senate explaining what happened that night. We cannot remove a man's head in his absence. So let us hear from him in his defense whether I really threatened Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan or not. Chief Whip, talk your side of the story.
I listened to the single senator Natasha on Arise News.
We listen too.
And I'm saying to all my distinguished colleagues, I had no regrets about what she said about me.
Okay.
She said I called her at exactly 13 minutes past 12. I had no regrets. And every one of you know it is characteristic of my own person and leadership role to try to reconcile everybody.
Okay.
I went to the Senate President and I got there that night. And I said, sir, tomorrow in chamber, you will have to tender a public apology to the single Senator Natasha.
Okay.
I beg you in the name of God. Because her understanding of what you said is different from the way you are interpreting it.
So it's not denying calling
by
out.
saying she should not speak as if she was in a nightclub. And Mr. President, you explained again that what you meant was that it's only in the nightclub that everybody speaks in loud voice, trying to raise their voice above the volume of the music. And I said, sir, I understand you. But tomorrow you need to explain that again to her and other Nigerian women and apologize to her. And you ask me a question, why is it that you are always coming to me to talk? You are not have you called Senator Natasha? Everybody is dragging me on the social media. Her bloggers, including herself, saying I must go down. Have you called her? And I picked my call and called Senator Natasha, placing her on speakerphone.
Okay.
DSP was there.
So he has witnesses.
And two other of our colleagues. And I called. I didn't think 12 midnight was any time that we will not see be awake as senators. We go to bed 2 a.m., 3 a.m. People who are dragging us on social media should know that. And when I called the single Senator Natasha, the first thing I said was, distinguished, I am sorry, I hope I did not wake you up. She said, no, sir. I'm still at work. You know, I can't be sleeping by this time. And I said, how is my brother? Referring to her husband. She said, he's fine and he's right here. And I said, I only called you to ask you a question. She said, what? I said, my dear sister, what would you gain? Because I'm reading everything that people are saying on social media.
Okay.
But what will you gain if the Senate President goes down? What do you stand to benefit?
Okay.
That was all the discussion. And as she was talking, she said, well, I didn't start this fight. As she was talking, my phone started saying reconnecting, meaning that network was failing.
Okay.
I turned it off and called back.
Okay.
As soon as she came back, Mr. President, you took over the discussion, believing that you were talking to a friend's wife who just said the husband was by her. And you said, Princess of the Senate.
Okay.
Why are your people dragging me? And we discussed all of this. And at the end of the discussion, you spoke with the husband and reminded the husband or told the husband about a pending nomination that he was supposed to make for Delta State.
Okay.
And I thought that was the height of it, Mr. President. You are nominating people who will serve in the Public Complaint Commission. The husband is not the governor of Delta. He's not a senator from Delta. And I felt it was the height of respect that you could have for anybody, that you will ask the husband to submit the name of the nominee for Delta State.
Understandably
for
so.
5-year tenure in public service. That was how we rounded up that discussion. But I listened to the single Senator Natasha on Arise. We rounded up that discussion. You came here the following day, you apologized, that rested the matter. But she recalled the matter last week on Arise and simply said, I called her at 13 minutes past 12, middle of the night, to threaten her. And I said, if SP must go down, you too must go down. I never said so.
Okay.
And I call on the DG, DSS, and all those, security agencies who have unrestricted access to telecommunication network to please recall
the details of that conversation,
of the discussion that I held with the single Senator Natasha on my phone. So, and for me, if somebody says something that I know to be a blatant lie, it will be difficult for me to believe any other thing you say. So that's why when she proceeded later to say I was sexually harassed, Senate President took me around his house where his wife lives, where his children live, and was holding my hand with my husband following. And he told me, do you like this sitting room? If you like it, I'll bring you back there so that we can enjoy ourselves. There was no way I would believe all of that because...
understandably.
Yes.
What year?
What year? The discussion...
So what year did she allege?
Sorry.
What year?
He said 2023. 2023.
What year ago? 2025.
Well, sir, I clarified all I needed to clarify. I just wanted to say that, and Mr. President and distinguished colleagues, I had said all of those things just for me to make this simple point. Just for me to make this simple point. This is the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Of course.
We are expected to be sober. We are expected to carry ourselves in a way that we will continue to reflect the importance and the sanctity of this chamber.
Okay.
And having said all of this, what I will just say to our colleagues is that I am totally in support of the recommendation by the committee.
So suspend her.
And I commend them for the good work they have done. And if in the wisdom of this committee, of this Senate, it is upheld that most distinguished Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan be so suspended,
okay,
then my advice and appeal to her will be that she spends her period of suspension to read and learn our rules very well.
Okay.
So that when she comes back to the Senate,
she will understand.
She will come back as someone who understands this rule back to back. I thank you, Mr. President, and I thank all our colleagues for listening.
If we have to look through Natasha Akpoti's matter without emotions, right? There's a lot of reasons to question her case. You see, when I talk about Reno Mokri matter, and a year now say they settled Reno Mokri out of court. And a year now say, I don't know how true that is, that the husband had to pay Reno Mokri to stay out of court. Because she blandly lied against Reno. And say Reno the toaster. Full-blown lie. And we as men, once you have told us one lie, it go hard to believe another thing when you talk. Now that's the same thing the chief whip is complaining, because even in the parts when he involved, you change the narrative. According to him, I'm not saying he's saying the truth though. He's saying that the part when I involved, you change the narrative. So if you can change my own, I want to believe say no be so you dey change Senate President own now when they take you around the house. Let's call a spade a spade. If Natasha was a man, would we be supporting her? That stunt she pulled over, go and sit down there. Men would have cleared that thing in 10 seconds. Well, they drag for weeks so. When the full Senate now, not even they discuss on that thing about her. So change your seat. I don't like this seat. Change it. I don't not give me better seat. Oh yeah, change it. You know, talk to Senate President. Oh yeah, Senate President not first, but I go change. I don't like that thing. Men will sort out that thing in 5 minutes. Because this same culture like Papi have been involved in that same issue with Saraki, they sorted it out in a few minutes. But today, some protesters they outside, this one they outside, they clash, this one they go TV, this one they go court over that matter. And Natasha herself, she's quite stubborn because she they claim yes that we have media people they sit down and they say go, but we saw the seat. She has colleagues sitting around her. Anyway, it is well. As for the suspension, it does not make sense. So it does not make sense. You can find another way to punish Natasha, not suspension. Who will not be representing people of our constituency in that house when you suspend her? I thought the court has already said in the case of Ale Ndume that the Senate does not have the right to suspend the senator. Because you know you're suspending the senator, you're suspending our full constituency, 1/3 of the state. I'm sure Natasha wants to seek redress in court. Let's see how it goes.